Welcome to 5 Minutes of Mime, the weekly podcast dedicated to the performance art of mime. I am your host, S.E. Angerman, the captain on this mimic carpet ride. As we discussed in depth last episode, the relationship between mime and motion pictures is a topic to which we will return often here on 5 Minutes of Mime, the weekly podcast dedicated to the performance art of mime. Next week will be our special Academy Awards preview special, but before we meet Oscar, we will meet Daniel Richter. Richter was a street performer and teacher of mime in London in 1966 when Stanley Kubrick contacted him about doing some choreography. Kubrick and his pal Arthur C. Clarke were making a movie which would begin with a sequence showing primitive hominids developing the use of tools. It was vital to the tone of this movie that the characters in these scenes, which Clarke called ape men, but Kubrick described as man-apes, not appear to be people in gorilla suits, as had been obvious in previous films, such as Mighty Joe Young. Kubrick and his costume department could make the actors look like apes, but they couldn't get them to move like apes, until someone said, we haven't talked to a mime. In his book Moonwatcher's Memoir, A Diary of 2001, A Space Odyssey, Richter describes the challenge facing Kubrick. Actors can't move, dancers and stuntmen can't act. Mimes can do both. Richter built his performance from the inside out, letting the character define the movement. He choreographed the sequence, instructed the actors on movement, and played a lead role in the movie as the man-ape Moonwatcher. Tonight, one of our distinguished senior mime fellows will recreate that performance from the movie 2001 A Space Odyssey in the act called The Dawn of Man. I am putting myself to the fullest possible use, which is all I think that any conscious entity can ever hope to do. Thanks to all the guests on tonight's show. If you'd like to learn more, read a book. Remember to tune in next week for our Academy Awards special edition. Join the conversation on our Facebook listeners page, The 5 Minutes of Mime Quiet Storm, and on Twitter at 5 Minutes of Mime. Visit us at 5minutesofmime.com. and send your comments to comments@5minutesofmime.com. Daniel Richter was born in 1939 in Darien, Connecticut. Until next mime, good night.